Hi there, I'm Jay Foster. Thanks for clicking on me. So, something happened in your past, and it seems like you just can't get over it. You're blaming yourself, you're beating yourself up. Has this happened to you before, or maybe it's happening to you right now? It's like out of nowhere, throughout the day, you've got this inner voice,
Why didn't you react differently? Why did you let that happen?
or the attacking voice will say something like,
You see, now nobody likes you.
"What is this attacking inner voice that blames you, and what can you do to make it stop?" Let's enter the courtroom of our mind and present logical, rational questions to this inner critic who is lashing out at us. You may be blaming yourself for something that happened in the past, but should you be condemning yourself so harshly? Cognitive behavioral therapy, there's a video right there that explains it, is about becoming more aware of your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors and how all these influence one another, and especially how your thoughts get distorted. Like an inner teacher, CBT can help offer tips to help you look at situations differently in a more rational and logical way. In our case today, we're going to use CBT as an inner litigator to cross-examine that harsh inner blamer by asking these 12 questions. Number 1, just because I could have prevented it, does that mean I caused it?
Well, if I'm being honest and rational, I must answer no, not necessarily.
Number 2, can I blame myself for having a natural human reaction? Fear, arousal, excitement are all natural human responses. Do you expect me to not have a human response?
Well, I guess not. No.
Number 3, each of us deserves to have a support system around us. In fact, we cannot survive without a support system. If you're blaming me that I should have done more or should have known all by my lonesome, then we must also ask, would you expect someone else to do any better with inadequate support around them?
Well, since you put it that way, no.
Number 4, in real time, we consider only a limited range of options. Meaning, days, weeks, or months after an event, after we're calm and we can see the entire situation in context, we can think of 17 different ways we could have reacted, which would have led to a completely different outcome. Do you expect me to consider all the possibilities in real time as the event is unfolding?
That's a good point. I guess not.
Number 5, sometimes we discount the positive. You may be focused on how awful the situation was and dismissing the positives. But with any situation, there are positives and there are negatives. Is it possible that only the negative came out of this situation?
I guess we can't really know for sure, so probably not.
Number 6, oftentimes we confuse emotions with evidence. Just because we feel the emotion of guilt doesn't mean that we are guilty or that we caused something to happen. Does guilt or any other emotion serve as evidence that something particular happened?
No, emotions do not serve as evidence.
Number 7, you say that I should have known better. In hindsight, it is much easier to see something coming, but would you judge someone else equally as harshly for not being psychic, or not acting on a hunch, or not picking up on subtle cues without the benefit of hindsight?
I take pride in my intuitive abilities, but I honestly can't blame someone for not always tuning in to the crystal ball.
Number 8, even when we're in charge, we're not necessarily in control. We hold ourselves to high standards when we're given the responsibility, but unfortunate events can still unfold even when we have the authority or status to prevent them, because we can't see the unforeseeable. Have you ever known a leader or someone responsible to also have the ability to control all situations?
No, true leadership is not about controlling others.
Number 9, we can get so distraught from the outcome and ignore our own good intentions. You're distraught over the situation, but do you think I intended this to happen?
No, of course not.
Number 10, when we get placed into a lose-lose scenario, the outcome is never good. When we blame ourselves, it's easy to overlook the fact that there weren't many positive outcomes that could have occurred given the situation. If there are no potential positive outcomes, would you expect anyone else to find one?
No, of course not.
Number 11. When our mind turns over the situation again and again, we often neglect to consider the other negative outcomes had things gone differently. Okay, so if I were to rewind the clock and change the outcome, does that mean I could guarantee that nothing bad would have happened?
Nope, can't guarantee that. That's true.
Number 12. Are you comparing me to a superhero? Although sometimes we think about ourselves as superheroes, we are merely human. When we blame ourselves, it's common to compare ourselves to some unrealistic ideal. Would you expect another person to be superhuman given the situation?
No, I wouldn't.
After reviewing these questions, are you being completely fair with self-blame?
No, I haven't been completely fair.
Situations that happen in our lives, whether desirable or not, have nothing to do with blame. They have everything to do with growth. Because ultimately, the lesson to be learned when you're blaming yourself is self-forgiveness and self-acceptance and surrendering to what is. I know it's so easy for me to speak these words, having no idea of the torment that you went through or that you're going through now. I know that it takes tremendous courage and humility to forgive yourself. Repeat these words with complete sincerity over the next several days and weeks. Each day, I forgive myself a little more. Each day, I accept myself a little more. Thanks for watching. To get more of these videos like this one, click the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you can be notified when the next video is published. Thanks again. I'm out.